My name is Jonathan Hale, and for 25 long years, I was the backbone of Briargate Manufacturing. Though apparently everyone forgot that part the moment a shiny new consultant whispered cost-cutting into the CEO's ear. I managed 42 global suppliers across 6 countries, negotiated contracts worth millions, prevented shortages, smoothed international conflicts, and kept production running when everything else fell apart. I didn't just keep the company alive, I practically performed CPR on it for 2 decades. But one Tuesday morning, I was called to HR without explanation, walked into a fluorescent-lit room that smelled like cheap coffee and worse decisions, and was told by a stone-faced director reading from a script that my role was being restructured. I wasn't offered a handshake, no thank you for 25 years, no recognition, nothing. Just a corporate guillotine dropping quietly. They escorted me out like I was some intern who stole printer ink. I walked to my car numb, hand shaking, chest tight, but by the time I reached the driver's seat, the numbness had evaporated. It wasn't sadness anymore. It was something else, something sharper. Because they hadn't just fired me, they fired the only person on earth who knew how to keep their suppliers from walking out the door. And they were about to learn exactly what that meant. I didn't rage, I didn't lash out. I went home, made myself a black coffee, opened my laptop, and typed one simple email to all 42 vendors I had personally negotiated with for 2 decades. I wanted to let you know today was my last day at Briargate. You may forward any future communication to the corporate office. I've appreciated our partnership. That was it. No ranting, no spite, just clarity. And then the emails started coming in. First one, then 2, then 5, then dozens. Shocked, furious, offended messages from vendors in Germany, Mexico, India, Brazil, all asking who they were supposed to deal with now and why no one warned them. I didn't answer those questions because they weren't mine to answer anymore. But I noticed something. 37 of the 42 suppliers CC'd the same person, the CEO. By the next morning, the explosion had begun. My buddy Grant, who still worked there, called me whispering like he'd committed treason by using his phone. "John, you will not believe the chaos. The vendors refused to speak to anyone except you. They said the company disrespected 25 years of partnership." I laughed. "That sounds unfortunate." "Unfortunate? Dude, production is already stalled. Germany halted shipments. Brazil froze transport. India won't release parts unless you personally approve the new liaison. The CEO is losing his mind." I pretended to be sympathetic. Inside, I was sipping that warm, satisfying taste of justice. Apparently, the new strategic consultant, a 29-year-old with a buzz cut and a statistics degree, told the CEO he could consolidate all supplier communications under one person to cut costs. That one person? A 23-year-old intern, a kid who didn't even know what lead time meant. Meanwhile, I had 25 years of personal relationships built on trust, mutual respect, and late-night emergency calls across time zones. But sure, let the intern handle it. Within 24 hours, 37 suppliers went completely silent. Production lines halted, orders delayed. A multi-million-dollar contract with a major automaker was now at risk because a shipment worth $3.2 million was stuck in customs, and the only person who knew the customs officer personally was me. By day 3, the CEO tried calling me 3 times. I declined each one. Day 4, he sent an email. "Jonathan, we would be open to discussing a contractor role to help smooth the transition." Translation, "Please fix everything for pennies." I didn't reply. That evening, Grant texted, "He's pacing the floor like he's waiting for a verdict. Vendors are demanding you be reinstated or they'll dissolve contracts." Day 5, the CEO finally swallowed his pride or choked on it and emailed me again, this time with an offer. "Jonathan, we'd like to offer you your position back immediately with a raise." I actually laughed out loud. A raise? After firing me without warning? After humiliating me? After acting like I didn't exist? I still didn't respond, because that morning something better happened. Much better. One of our major suppliers, a German company called Hallberg Industrial, reached out to me personally. Their CEO said, "Jonathan, we've always valued your professionalism. If you are open to it, we would like to offer you a global procurement leadership role, full relocation package, salary doubling your current compensation, and full oversight of international contracts." I thought I misread it. I asked him to repeat it. He did, twice. By the end of the call, I had accepted. Not Briargate's offer, Hallberg's. That same afternoon, Hallberg announced to all their international partners that I was joining their executive team. The news spread fast. How fast? Fast enough that Grant called me before dinner saying, "Dude, the CEO just heard. He's yelling that you've sabotaged the company." Sabotage? No. I simply reminded the world who did the real work. 2 weeks later, Briargate lost 12 suppliers permanently. Production tanked. Stock fell. That shiny consultant quietly resigned. And the CEO? The board removed him from his position. Meanwhile, I was standing in a sleek office in Munich overlooking the entire city, signing documents for a salary that made my old paycheck look like loose change. They fired me thinking I was replaceable. Turns out, 37 global suppliers disagreed. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's not violent. Sometimes it's just letting people face the consequences of underestimating the wrong damn person.